We all want to improve the sound of our system, and most of the time we're willing to throw hundreds of dollars at it. What if I told you you could improve the sound of your system for hardly any money at all? Would you be interested? Of course you would. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about these almost free hi-fi hacks. Thank you so much for watching. The Cheap Audio Man is getting close to 200,000 subscribers, which makes my brain melt. When I hit 200,000 subscribers, we're gonna give a whole bunch of stuff away. So if you want to enter to win free speakers, DACs, turntables, tube amps from people like SVS, Wharfdale, Jashelli Labs, Vanatu, then the only thing you have to do is subscribe to the channel and fill out the Google form. It'll be linked in the description. I may try to link it right here too if I remember, but I don't always remember to do that. So just subscribe, follow me on Instagram at Cheap Audio Man, and fill out the Google form. Even if you are already subscribed, you can still enter to win. But don't enter a whole bunch of times, because if you do win, and I see that you've entered like 15 or 20 times, then you're not gonna win. I will delete it. So thank you so much for watching. Oftentimes when we want to improve the sound of our system, we go automatically to, hey, what new speakers should I get? What new amplifier is the latest and greatest? Should I get a new DAC? As audiophiles, we are always looking to eke out that last bit of performance from our system, and most of the time we think pulling out our credit card is the way to do that. However, there are things that you can do right now that don't cost anything in some cases. I know that's hard to believe, but the idea for this video started from a conversation I was having with my patrons on my Sunday night patron Zoom, and it was something so simple that it blew me away, and I was surprised it had not occurred to me before. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video, because I'm saving the best for last. Getting better bass improvement with drinking straws? Yeah, you sure can. I don't know the exact science behind it because I'm dumb. But I do know that when you put a bunch of straws together, you wrap them in some tape, and then you stuff them into the port of your speaker, that it increases the surface area and actually increases bass response, lowers bass response. Literally, you can wrap some straws together, slightly larger than the diameter of your port, in a circular fashion. Probably not going to work if you have a slot port. Maybe it could, I don't know. And you stick your straws in there. Crazy, right? Well, prove me wrong. Go out and buy $2 or $3 worth of straws, 50 cents worth of tape, and give it a try yourself. Do one speaker, not the other speaker, run mono, and then switch them back and forth and see if you hear a difference. But this is not magic snake oil. There's actually science behind this. And if you know more about why it works, stick it down in the comments. I know Neil, one of my patrons who is a speaker builder, is the one that came up with this idea, or the one that told me. He probably didn't come up with it. He told me about it, and he uses it a lot on his speakers. So Neil, if you're out there, put it in the description. Why does the straw thing work besides more surface area? $2. I want my $2. What movie is that from? I want my $2. So the straw hack. Give it a try. This one is my hack, and it's kind of weird. I've talked about this before, so if you've been a follower, a viewer of the channel, a long-time subscriber, then you may already know about this one. But this is one of my favorite hi-fi components that I've ever purchased. It's a fan. It's a Polonis fan, and it's a quiet fan. So how does a fan affect your hi-fi equipment? Well, easy. Background noise. Go drive down the highway about 70 miles an hour and tell me how clean your music is when you're listening to it through your stereo, and then pull into a parking lot and see if you hear any more detail. Turn your AC all the way up and then turn it down and see if you hear any more detail. Point being is that background SPL, usually in houses, it's around 30 dB or so. But when your AC or heater kick on, that number goes way up. And regardless of how good your stereo system is, if you have a bunch of background noise going on, you're not going to hear all the awesome detail. I should have talked about this sooner because summer is almost over, although it's still hot here. I love this Polonis fan, and I'm going to link it in the description. The reason why I love it is because it is super quiet. There's like 12 different levels. Anything between 1 and about 4 is pretty much imperceptible. I always have this fan running when I'm recording. Doesn't even come through on the audio. So if you are in a warmer climate or your house is a bit hot, you can immediately improve the clarity in your system by simply turning off that AC, putting a quiet fan next to you, and listening to your music with reduced background noise. I do not think I've received one negative comment about people buying their Pelonis fan and hating it. It's probably the most well-received recommendation I've ever made. It comes with a remote too. Speaker isolation feet or speaker isolation stands, whatever you want to call it. I never really put a whole bunch of stock into these crazy isolation things. I used to just throw my speakers up on the console and didn't think anything of it. But ISO Acoustics reached out to me at a show and said, hey, would you be willing to review this or at least try out this product? I figured, yeah, what the heck. They're a little bit more expensive, but I do think they make a very good product that makes a big impact on the sound, especially if you have your speakers on a console or on anything that can resonate. So unless your console is made out of cinder blocks, you could probably benefit from a little bit of speaker isolation. Even if your speakers are on stands, they can still vibrate and send resonance, and unwanted resonance covers up all the wanted resonance. So you don't have to buy ISO Acoustics, but there are a whole bunch of products out there that you can check out for not a lot of money. Sorbo Thing. You get something with Sorbo Thing on it. But I want to hear about your story in the comments. What do you use to isolate your speakers from either the stands or whatever they're sitting on? I know also if you couple your speaker stand to the floor with spikes or something like that, that it also reduces resonance. For me, this was something that I used to kind of chuckle at, but after I tried it out, I did notice a significant improvement in instrument separation and clarity from the bass all the way to the treble. I will link some products in the description, but please tell me what you use. I know some people use like washer and dryer pucks or something like that, so let me know what you use on a budget. Thank you so much. And my favorite hack of all, the reason this video is being made, tighten your speaker drivers. What? My mind was blown when I heard that. It makes so much sense, right? Your speakers are vibrating all the time. Of course they're gonna get a little bit loose over time, especially if you've had the same speakers for a long time, or if someone didn't put the speakers together very good to begin with. The only thing you have to do is take a screwdriver or a little Allen key and go around and just give it a little tighten. I would go in the star pattern though, so start up here, go down here, then go over here, and then over here, and then over here. I heard many stories last Sunday night of people tightening up their speaker drivers and the sound improving dramatically. It's one of those things though that is so obvious when you hear it, but I'd never thought about it. I never thought about, oh, maybe I should tighten up my woofer and my tweeter. One story from one patron said that he went around and he had a good quarter turn on every driver. Pulling out an Allen wrench that was in his toolbox dramatically improved the sound quality. I love this hack because I'd never really thought about it before. Now, don't go around tightening them up too much. You don't want to strip out that wood because chances are you have an MDF cabinet and that stuff gets a little bit powdery if you overstrip it. But you may be surprised just how much an Allen key can improve the sound of your speakers. And finally, what do you recommend? What are some cheap, easy, almost free hi-fi hacks that you've done in your life? Please share it with the community because collectively, everyone that watches this video, think about how much experience there is. If 10,000 people watch this video and they've been audiophiles for 20 years, I can't do the math, but that's a lot of experience. So please share yours with us. If you want to support the channel, you can sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/cheapaudioman. You can also check out the links in the description. Most of those links are affiliate links, which means if you click and you buy, I do get a commission, but it doesn't cost you much to support the channel. You can also sign up for Amazon Music, Tidal, or Rune. Links in the description. You can also buy me a cup of coffee down at the bottom of the video. There's a thanks button. Put a little money in the tip jar. Buy me a cup of coffee, but don't feel compelled to buy me anything. So don't binge watch anything on Netflix or Hulu. Binge listen, maybe with all these new free or almost free hi-fi hacks, and fill your soul with happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.